Hello and welcome to our video, where we'll be taking a closer look at the book, Dare to Lead Like a Girl by Dalia Feldheim. This powerful and thought-provoking book challenges traditional leadership models and encourages women to embrace vulnerability and authenticity in their leadership style. Let me start by giving you a brief overview of the book's theme and main takeaways. In this book, Dalia Feldheim argues that traditional leadership models, which are often based on a masculine leadership style, do not work for women. Women who try to conform to these models end up losing their authenticity and are less effective as leaders. The book encourages women to lead in a way that is true to themselves, rather than trying to conform to societal expectations. Dalia is a leadership expert who has worked with organizations and leaders from around the world. She's been a corporate executive, an entrepreneur, and a speaker. And through her extensive experience, she realized that the traditional leadership model was not working for women. With this book, she hopes to empower women to lead in a way that is true to themselves and to make a real impact in the world. In the book, Dalia Feldheim addresses the main problem that many women face when trying to be successful leaders. Despite the many advances that have been made in the area of women's rights, many women still struggle to achieve positions of power and influence. This book is designed to help women break through the barriers that are preventing them from being effective leaders. Dare to Lead Like a Girl by Dalia Feldheim is a powerful and thought-provoking book that challenges traditional leadership models and encourages women to embrace vulnerability and authenticity in their leadership style. The book aims to empower women to lead in a way that is true to themselves and to make a real impact in the world. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the book's main ideas and how they can be applied in the real world. The phrase, like a girl, is often used in a negative context, as in, you throw like a girl or you run like a girl. The book, Dare to Lead Like a Girl, takes this phrase and turns it into a positive thing. The author argues that women should lead like a girl, meaning they should lead in a way that is true to themselves and that embraces their unique strengths and qualities. This way of leading is different from the traditional, masculine leadership style and is often more effective. One of the main ideas of the book is the importance of embracing vulnerability and authenticity in leadership. Many women feel pressure to present a tough exterior in order to be taken seriously as leaders. But the author argues that vulnerability is actually a strength, not a weakness. When leaders are vulnerable, they create deeper connections with their teams and foster a more open and honest work environment. The author's own experience as a woman in leadership also influenced the writing of the book. Dalia Feldheim has worked with organizations and leaders from around the world and has seen firsthand the challenges that women face when trying to be successful leaders. She writes from a place of deep understanding and empathy, and her book is designed to empower women to lead in a way that is true to themselves. Now, we're going to be discussing the 4 pillars of daring leadership outlined in the book. The first pillar of daring leadership is rising strong, which deals with bouncing back from failure and setbacks. The author argues that failure is an inevitable part of leadership and that it's important for leaders to learn how to rise strong from failures and setbacks. This means having the ability to recover quickly, to learn from failures, and to become better leaders as a result. The second pillar of daring leadership is embracing vulnerability. As we discussed earlier, vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but the author argues that vulnerability is actually a strength. When leaders are vulnerable, they create deeper connections with their teams and foster a more open and honest work environment. This leads to better communication, stronger relationships, and ultimately more effective leadership. The third pillar of daring leadership is living into your values. The author argues that when leaders live into their values, they create a more meaningful and fulfilling life. They are also able to make a positive impact on the world. This pillar encourages to identify and align with your own values and act according to it in the leadership path. The fourth pillar of daring leadership is leading with a whole heart. The author argues that when leaders lead with a whole heart, they are able to connect more authentically with their teams and organizations. This helps leaders to build trust, foster loyalty, and drive better results. In summary, the 4 pillars of daring leadership outlined in the book Dare to Lead Like a Girl are: rising strong, embracing vulnerability, living into your values, and leading with a whole heart. These pillars provide a framework for women to lead in a way that is true to themselves and to make a real impact in the world. Now, we'll be discussing some real-life examples and case studies that illustrate how these pillars can be put into practice. Let's start with the first pillar of daring leadership: rising strong. One example of this in action is the story of a company that faced a major crisis but was able to rise strong and come out stronger as a result. The company's leaders embraced the failure, learned from it, and implemented changes that ultimately led to better results. The second pillar, embracing vulnerability, is exemplified by the story of a leader who initially had a tough exterior, but over time learned to be more vulnerable with her team. As a result, she was able to create deeper connections and build trust with her team, leading to better communication and stronger relationships. In terms of the third pillar, living into your values, the author shares an example of a woman who realized that her values didn't align with her current job, and as a result, she took a leap of faith to start her own business that aligned with her values. This led to a more meaningful and fulfilling life for her. The fourth pillar, leading with a whole heart, is exemplified by the story of a leader who made the decision to prioritize the well-being of her team over short-term business goals. This decision helped her to connect more authentically with her team and ultimately led to better results for the company. Throughout this video, we've discussed how the book challenges traditional leadership models and encourages women to lead in a way that is true to themselves. To sum up, some of the key takeaways from the book include: traditional leadership models, which are often based on a masculine leadership style, do not work for women. Embracing vulnerability and authenticity in leadership are key to becoming more effective leaders. By identifying and aligning with your own values and acting accordingly in the leadership path, it leads to a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Leading with a whole heart helps leaders connect authentically with their teams and organizations. In conclusion, Dare to Lead Like a Girl is a powerful and thought-provoking book that provides a fresh perspective on leadership. We encourage you to read it and apply the principles outlined in it. Check the links in the description for ways to get yours. We also would love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so please share your comments in the comments section. And don't forget to like this video. Share it with your friends and colleagues who are interested in leadership and personal development, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching and following. We hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. See you in the next one.